Let us now design a playbook so that we use the playbook whenever we have to communicate any breach that has happened. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you regularly see new content on data privacy. DPDP Act is what we are talking of these days, breach notification within DPDP Act, and today we are going to create a playbook so that the communication to the world about a breach becomes easier. Why is it necessary? It allows you to avoid ad hoc breach handling. That means a playbook is there, and if there's a breach, people can quickly refer to that and get their breach corrected or communicated the way it is defined for the organization to do. Sort of a checklist, you can say, playbook checklist. Rule 7 obligations would trigger immediately the moment you see a breach. Stress, ambiguity, there are possibility of mistakes happening because the people who are handling it are worried. Oh, breach. What kind of loss? What kind of impact? How would it impact the principals? How would it impact the board and the organizational reputation? And how would it impact my own job? Right? So they're worried. So to try and mitigate those things, they're trying to make a playbook that ensures there is speed, consistency, and defensibility in reporting the breach. You can report it as quickly as possible. You have a consistent format of doing things. You're not like jumping around, though, God willing, breaches do not happen or should not happen, and at least not get repeated also. Right? But still, if there is an issue, then you are prepared for it. A playbook is not about automation, it's more about being prepared for what may go wrong. When does it activate? The moment there's a breach. The moment you realize that there's a breach, you activate your playbook. Don't wait for investigations to start. Don't wait for investigations to complete. Know the complete impact of it. No. Just activate the playbook the moment you think there's a breach. Bring up awareness to the playbook and have a structured response around it. Core stages of a breach playbook. Breach awareness, the first part, we come to know that there's a breach. How do we contain it? How do we minimize the impact? How do we ensure that the breach is stopped or blocked if it is still on? For example, if there's a firewall access that got by mistake opened and someone has been able to get in through that, how fast can we block that firewall port again to ensure that the containment is done and that our setup is now very, very stable? We do harm assessment. We talked about this in a couple of videos back earlier as well. We check what kind of harm has happened. Rule 7 on communication drafting, breach notification drafting, we talked about in the last video. And how is the intimation done to the principals, to the board, and what kind of documentation do you handle internally to be sure that all possible corrective actions have been immediately taken and implemented. From rules point of view, technical team has to work on the containment and the real facts of how did it happen. Compliance team has to check what possible harm has happened and how can that be blocked in the future. Leadership team has to look at an oversight, not just management. They have to see the impact, not only technically, but also on their business. Single communication owner avoids confusions. Everyone goes to one person. They sit down, they decide what is the communication, and one person goes to the world and communicates. If everyone is talking to people outside, there could be difference of opinions based on their individual departments and therefore miscommunication. So avoid naming specific job titles, keep it very, very adaptable, make it system oriented, easy for people to implement and understand. Communications, a clear legalistic communication, a clear communication which is not too much legalistic, accurate, has to be accurate, proportionate, and actionable for data principles. So a clear communication, accurate, proportionate, and actionable for your data principles. The goal is informed trust, not a panic control. Documentation, record. Record what? Record when breach was detected. When was the playbook triggered? What was communicated to people? Why certain language was used? These are very important things that you need to immediately communicate and tell people. When was the breach detected? When was the playbook triggered? What was communicated? And why certain language was used in this particular breach and breach reporting? This helps you protect your organization's later, because the regulators as well as the auditors, external auditors, would need to know what are you doing all this report. Documentation is a part of compliance, not an afterthought of compliance or breach. Common failures, despite having a playbook and not having a playbook: over engineering the process. You have not even understood the process and you are just trying to quickly fix it. Waiting for it to give complete detail can be dangerous. Treating communication as PR, it is not PR, it is communication. Be very sure about it. Not testing the playbook beforehand. Well, you have to do drills. You can't avoid it. You can't wait for a problem, work on a playbook and goof it up. So you have to be sure that you have tested your playbooks from time to time, updated them with your experience or with experience that you hear and listen from others about the way they handle the cases. DPDP needs preparedness. Preparedness is there. While we say DPDP is not worried about your improvisation, but if you continue to improve, your reporting is better. A playbook is calm, compliant response, and communicating quality defines the trust with the customers. So that's about communication playbook, breach notification under DPDP Act. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.